Upon Oda Nobuhide's death in 1551, the clan was thrown into a political period of instability and internal strife. While Nobunaga had been appointed heir, his eccentric behavior and brash vision of leadership sparked resistance within the clan. This situation gave rise to opposing factions vying for control of Owari, turning the line of succession into an open conflict. Nobunaga's supporters consisted of vassals loyal to Nobuhide, who believed in the young leader's potential. These allies overlooked Nobunaga's eccentricities, recognizing his strategic intelligence and forward-thinking outlook. The leaders of this faction included pragmatic and far-sighted men, like the respected samurai Hirate Masahide, who viewed Nobunaga as having the strength to face up to external threats and lead the clan in times of change. They felt that Nobunaga was the only one who could stand up to powerful enemies, such as the Imagawa clan, and consolidate the Oda's hold on Owari. By contrast, the faction supporting Oda Nobuyuki, the younger brother Nobunaga, was mostly formed of conservative leaders and castellans from smaller Oda clan branches. They perceived Nobuyuki as a more reliable and traditional leader, aligning himself with the values that Nobuhide represented. Senior leaders such as Shibata Katsuie and Hayashi Hidesada openly supported Nobuyuki, afraid that Nobunaga's leadership would estrange allies and weaken the clan's position. This clique started to conspire, looking for ways to strengthen their position and undermine Nobunaga's authority. When tensions rose, and encouraged by his allies, Nobuyuki began scheming a coup to overthrow Nobunaga and take control of the clan. The conspiracy was hatched in 1554, with Nobuyuki attracting support from disgruntled nobles and organizing secret alliances between dissident branches of the Oda clan. Shibata Katsuye and Hayashi Hidesada had crucial roles to fill in the conspiracy. Both were experienced and highly influential military leaders within the clan, having access to troops and resources that could be used against Nobunaga. The conspirators suspected that an open rebellion could destabilize Nobunaga enough to force him to step down as leader. This split considerably weakened the Oda clan at a time when external threat from the Imagawa remained constant. While Nobunaga attempted to consolidate his power and centralize the administration in Kyosu, Nobuyuki and his supporters worked in the shadows to disrupt his authority. Tensions within the Oda clan reached a critical point in 1555. Oda Nobuyuki, who was determined to usurp leadership of the clan, organized an open rebellion against Nobunaga, hoping that he could seize the moment of instability and take control of Owari. Knowing what his brother was up to, Nobunaga readied himself for the clash. Displaying his strategic skill, he gathered his loyal forces and anticipated the rebels' movements. The crucial battle took place near Ino, a strategic area that controlled important routes within the province. Although numerically inferior, Nobunaga's forces were comprised of experienced and deeply loyal warriors. His bold, charismatic leadership inspired the men on the battlefield. In contrast, Nobuyuki's troops, despite the support of the rebel castellans, lacked the cohesion and fighting spirit that Nobunaga had nurtured in his followers. When the forces met at Ino, Nobunaga employed unexpected tactics to throw the enemy off balance. He resorted to flanking maneuvers and surprise strikes, exploiting the terrain to his advantage. The battle was fierce and brutal. By the height of the confrontation, Nobuyuki's lines had started to crumble. Perceiving imminent defeat, a number of his allies retreated, leaving him vulnerable. However, Nobunaga showed an unexpected mercy. Instead of slaughtering his brother on the battlefield, he ordered Nobuyuki to be captured alive. Many were surprised by his choice to spare Nobuyuki's life. At a time when treason was often met with immediate death, Nobunaga was supposed to eliminate any threat to his power. However, he chose to pardon his brother, perhaps in the hope of avoiding an unbridgeable break within the clan and preserving family unity. This decision was perhaps influenced by some advice from close vassals, or by a personal sense of responsibility. Nobunaga could have believed that granting Nobuyuki a second chance would win him back as an ally, strengthen the clan against external threats, and send a peaceful message to the rebellious samurai. Despite Nobunaga's mercy, this peace within the Oda clan was short-lived. In 1556, only a year after the Battle of Ino, Nobuyuki started plotting against his brother again. Incited by disgruntled allies, and possibly resentful of his previous defeat, he plotted a new coup to topple and take over Nobunaga. This time around, the plot was more cautious, looking for external alliances, and trying to undermine Nobunaga's authority in secrecy. Spies and informants loyal to Nobunaga, however, detected the scheme before it could be carried out. The revelation of the betrayal profoundly shook Nobunaga, who found himself not only betrayed as a leader, but also as a brother. Sensing the previous leniency had not secured Nobuyuki's loyalty, and that allowing another opportunity for treachery could be disastrous for the clan, Nobunaga made a definitive decision. Establishing that no alternative existed, Nobunaga ordered Nobuyuki's execution. The event was conducted quietly and discreetly, ostensibly to avoid turmoil among the vassals and to ensure stability within the clan. Some accounts suggest that Nobuyuki was invited to commit seppuku, preserving his honor even in death. The choice to eliminate his brother was a turning point in Nobunaga's life. It proved his willingness to take extreme measures to cement his power and protect the clan from internal divisions. This action sent a clear message to all vassals and potential conspirators. Betrayal was not to be tolerated, regardless of family ties or past alliances. Nobuyuki's death meant that Nobunaga had disposed of his greatest rival for command of the Oda clan. This action meant that he could now turn his sights on other dissident leaders and further consolidate his control of Owari. Castles once under the influence of rebellious factions were retaken, and conspiratorial leaders were then replaced by loyal vassals. Nobuyuki's execution also heralded a change in Nobunaga himself. He emerged as a more purposeful and perhaps ruthless leader, understanding that the unification and strength of the clan required personal sacrifices and complex decisions. This experience molded his future approach to the pursuit of Japan's unification, where he would often opt for daring and sometimes harsh strategies to achieve his goals. After years of betrayals, plots, and fierce battles, Oda Nobunaga finally consolidated full control over Owari province in 1559. This historic landmark crowned his determination and skill as a strategist and leader. By overwhelming the rebellious factions within the clan and drawing the Castellans under his authority, Nobunaga turned a fragmented territory into a unified and solid base, ready to support his future ambitions. This triumph was not just military, but also political. Nobunaga took over from dissident leaders with trustworthy vassals and brought about administrative reforms that concentrated power in his hands. He fortified Kyosu Castle as a command center, thereby securing that the province was both equipped to resist external threats, such as the Imagawa clan, and to prosper economically under his leadership. Conquering Owari signaled the beginning of a new era for the Oda clan. Nobunaga emerged as an undisputed leader, whose ability to sail through a period of chaos and uncertainty cemented his reputation. The nickname, the Fool of Owari, was behind him. Now he personified the strength and vision needed to take the turbulent Sengoku period, and his ruthless style would make him known as the Demon King in the future. With a united Owari, Oda Nobunaga fulfilled the dream that his father had tried so hard to attain. It proved that Nobuhide was right to choose his most widely eccentric son to lead his clan. When Owari was under his control, he began to look beyond its borders, emphasizing a unified archipelago under a single leadership. The resolve and innovative spirit that led him to conquer Owari would continue to guide him in his future campaigns, which would transform not only the fate of the Oda clan, but also the history of Japan.